Good afternoon to all our attendees and participants who are tuned in to celebrate the National Science and Technology Week with us. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Therese Gilnat, and I will be your host for today. We are now on our second webinar for this week, and for this afternoon, we are going to talk about the Philippine space technology and infrastructure. Not only that, we will be experiencing a virtual tour of our space facilities via the newly developed ASTI virtual reality simulation application. But before we proceed, may we please invite everyone for the singing of the Philippine National Anthem. All right, thank you once again for being here with us today. So, just a few reminders before we start the program. Please be informed that this online event is being recorded. The audience is requested to keep their microphones muted to allow the participants to focus on the presentation. Participants may type in their questions in the chat pane to be addressed by the speakers and moderators during the panel Q&A session. For those who are streaming through our Facebook page, you may send us your questions by typing them in the comment box. Rest assured that we will be relaying them to the speaker during the Q&A portion. So to our friends from the media, you may access the official event press kit by visiting the URL flashed on the screen. If you would like to schedule an interview with our speaker, you may reach out to us via email at media@asti.dost.gov.ph. So for everyone's reference, this is our program of activities for today. I hope you can stay with us until the end of this webinar because as you can see, we have a lot of interesting topics lined up for you this afternoon. We will also be having a quick photo op later. So without further ado, to give us a welcome message, let us please give a very warm welcome to our DOST-ASTI Director, Dr. Franz A. De Leon.
A pleasant day to everyone who are present for today's event. Thank you for celebrating this year's National Science and Technology Week with us. We're very excited to show you new developments on a few of the DOST-ASTI's projects and programs for this year. It is with great honor that I welcome you all as we share with you new technologies and advancements developed by our talented team of researchers with the goal of benefiting our society. Over the past year, we have been committed and continuously working to deliver relevant and timely technological innovations that provide ease in everyday life to our fellow Filipinos. The current situation caused by the pandemic has further challenged our institute to produce technology-driven solutions that will help make services for our country more accessible to people and for the government to provide accurate data and information to the public. Right now, we have been providing these services to various parts of the country in planning for disaster response, agricultural solutions, and satellite imagery, to name a few. In this event, we will be discussing the ASTI Virtual Reality Simulation app, which aims to further raise the public awareness of this existing space technology and infrastructure through the more democratizing digital space, giving chance for everyone to take a step closer to space. Thanks to our very own developers and researchers from DOST-ASTI, we aim to share with you all how this innovation works and how it is relevant to the progress of society. We are looking forward for everyone to grow more interest and appreciation towards science and technology as we start today's webinar. Thank you and have a good day.
Right. Thank you, Director De Leon, for your usual support. Now we proceed to the main part of our webinar. Here to give us an introduction on the ASTI space technology infrastructure, he is a technical project specialist at DOST-ASTI. Since 2019, he is heavily involved in the software development for PEDRO Center and part of the SARWISE project and CIASAT portal. Of course, aside from these, he is also part of the development of the ASTI VRS app, and he assists in organizing collaborations with government agencies to support and promote the effective utilization of space technologies. Let us welcome Sir Mark Ivan Kamama.
In space technology. Thank you, Doc Franz. Thank you, Ms. Tet. So, hi, good afternoon. I am Mark Iron Arconama from DOST-ASTI under the Philippine Earth Data Resource and Observation Center. And I am here to discuss you the Philippine space technology and infrastructure via the DOST-ASTI BRS app because we will be having a facility tour by using that. So, without further ado, let's start. So first, let me walk you through the topics that we'll be discussing. I will not elaborate this anymore because this will be discussed further in the DOST-ASTI BRS app demo. So first is PEDRO, following up is the core, then the next is the DATOS project, and this next is the SAR with VRS, and the final topic will be the facility tour using the DOST-ASTI BRS app. But first, let us download. If you don't have any, if you don't have the app, so before we start, please download the app by using this QR code or by typing it in the Play Store, DOST-ASTI BRS. All right. You are downloading it because it's 171 MB. So I think we can proceed with the next topic or the first topic, which is about the PEDRO Center. I will not elaborate it anymore because the facility tour will entails all of the details that will be discussed through this. What does the PEDRO Center do? So we have three, but not limited to the following. So number one is capturing satellite images. Second one is in mission planning operations. Then the third one will be image request distribution and download. I will discuss this further on the ASTI-BRS app demo later. And the second slide, we can see the actual picture of the ASTI-BRS facility. So as you can see, there are parts there that will be further discussed in the ASTI-BRS app demo later. Then we have the three satellite tracking antenna all over the Philippines. So in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. So the largest one is in Davao. Then in Iloilo, it's under construction pa din. Yung in operation center namin. Then in Quezon City, we have the actual satellite tracking antenna in DOST-ASTI. We have our own satellite assets. So we have our Diwata 1, which is already commissioned last 2020, Diwata 2, which is in orbit, and Novasar 1, though hindi siya totally sa atin, so it was made by SSTL, but we have 10% capacity of it. Then we have the Maya 1, which is used for technology demonstration. So other than that, you have heard, so we have successfully deployed Maya 3 and 4 this year. Then we have our satellite subscriptions because it for availability purposes. So kung hindi available yung isang satellite, so we can utilize other satellites that can capture specific image in the Philippines. So we have the ComSat satellite, ComSat 3 and ComSat 5 from South Korea. Then we have the WorldView 2, 3, and 4, which is the highest resolution in the satellites. Then we have the Planet Lab constellation, the GUI-1, and Cosmos Skynet. So I will discuss this further also in the VRS app demo later. And this is our team, the PEDRO team. Before go diving in the next topic, which is core, so I want you to watch what I am discussing, just to give you a better idea of what we are doing.
Welcome to the DOST-ASTI's Philippine Earth Data Resource and Observation Center, or simply PEDRO. PEDRO is a ground receiving station that securely receives, processes, and distributes space-borne imagery from supported remote sensing satellites. It was established in 2016 to complement the Diwata microsatellite operations.
Since the establishment of the PEDRO Center, it has expanded to support a wide selection of Earth observation satellite subscriptions in its constellation. These satellites gather multispectral and synthetic aperture radar or SAR images and transmits them to the PEDRO GRS or Ground Receiving Station server, where they are processed and analyzed before distribution to the relevant government agencies.
So, let's talk about the many practical applications of PEDRO's satellite images.
PEDRO provides a wide set of data crucial for various operational and research activities in the areas of emergency response management, agriculture monitoring, forest and environmental surveillance, and other similar activities.
In cases of natural disasters like earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, PEDRO images have been relevant in disaster assessment.
PEDRO also provides satellite images to the Remote Sensing and Data Science Help Desk, or to the DATOS team of DOST-ASTI. DATOS specializes in using remote sensing, GIS, data science, AI, and other technologies for disaster risk reduction management purposes and other applications, such as agriculture. Essentially, the data provided by PEDRO can be further analyzed to derive relevant information that can be used to complement the current efforts of government agencies and other institutions.
PEDRO can even provide critical images and data to assess which areas are most heavily hit by disaster to aid in relief operations. This was done during the Marawi siege last May to October 2017. PEDRO images can also aid in flood monitoring during typhoons or heavy rainfall caused by monsoons. This is made possible by the PEDRO subscription to satellites with SAR technology. This technology is capable of penetrating clouds so that images can be captured even during typhoon season. Flood modeling and landslide hazard assessment can also be conducted through the elevation data using two satellite or aerial images taken at different positions. Points that were both present on the two images will be matched. The difference between the same points on both the image pairs will be calculated and will be used to generate the digital elevation model, or DEM, of the area of overlap. Using frequent high-resolution imaging, PEDRO images can also be a reliable channel for environmental monitoring. PEDRO is subscribed to satellites capable of identifying features such as buildings, houses, vehicles, and trees. This information is crucial in monitoring deforestation and urban sprawl. Satellite images can also be used to assess the vegetation health and indirectly the level of urbanization in an area. Using SAR satellites, the rice growth stage of an area can be mapped. Radar signals can be used to calculate how high the rice stalks are and what stage they are in.
The Advanced Science and Technology Institute undertakes scientific research and development initiatives in electronics, computing, and information technologies aimed at improving society and the quality of life of Filipinos. In the case of disaster risk reduction and management, the objective is to support the resilience of Filipino communities and enhance their capacity to bounce back from and to build better after calamities. One such initiative is the Philippine Earth Data Resource and Observation or PEDRO Center, which provides high-resolution geospatial scientific data in the form of optical or radar satellite images and their derived products. These satellite images are distributed to various government agencies for their planning, coordination, and response activities. These satellite images are a vital source of information during extreme weather events for managing the government's preparation, relief, and rehabilitation efforts. Through this R&D infrastructure, we are able to create value out of science and technology and subsequently bring this value closer to the Filipino people.
Right, so I hope you learned something about the video. So that's the bigger picture of what does the Pedro Center do. So the second topic will be about core. So to give you an overview, core stands for Computing and Archiving Research Environment. So what does core do in relation with the Pedro Center operation? So basically core is in charge of processing the data or the satellite data that we are downloading from the Earth observation satellites. So, ginagamit namin yung compute power ng core to process those satellite images. And at the same time, we are using the storage drive provided by the core kasi nga, yung mga satellite images na dinadownload namin is big in size. So, these are the gaming specs of core. So, it has 1,488 gaming laptop equivalent, 1.25 trillion scientific calculators, and 2,698 1 terabyte hard drive worth of storage. So ito yung diagram where pinapakita yung paano na-utilize namin yung core to process those satellite images. So the first one is when the satellite made contact with the satellite tracking antenna. So the satellite tracking antenna communicates with the satellite or vice versa. Then yung mga data na dina-download coming from the Earth observation satellite, pumupunta kay antenna, then yung antenna is may data converter. Then yung na-convert na data will be stored in the Pedro data storage in sync with the core data storage, or this will serve as the backup storage in core. Then, if the images will be needed to process, so ginagamit namin yung compute power ng core to process those images. Then in turn, yung final product will be the satellite images that will be provided in the government agency or other institutions that needed those images. So, ayan. So, yun yung overview ng core. Then, we have the DOST project. So, DOST project is the Remote Sensing and Data Science Help Desk. So, ano yung role ng DOST project in relation with those satellite images? So, sila yung nagde-develop ng RS and JS applications ginagamitan ng mga satellite images. They are coordinating and collaborate with the native agencies Basically, they are training those agencies to have the capacity to process the satellite images on their own. So they have conducted several trainings this year and last year. Then they evaluate, request, and distribute available RSGIS data, and they are 24/7 processing and distribution center of GIS applications or GIS data pag mga typhoon seasons and other disaster-related events. So I will not dive deep through dito sa mga applications na to. So basically, ito yung mga nagawa or ginagawa ng DATOS project. So by means of artificial intelligence, so they are using the satellite images for this application. So number one is the terrestrial applications, particularly in mapping. So ayan, makikita niyo yung mga multi-temporal composite images na meron tayo na na-generate nila. So ito sa fish pens mapping. So ito sa isla is in Laguna Lake. They are also have the capability to generate this map. So yung mga built up areas. So by the use of AI and machine learning, so they can generate this sorts of map. So ito, ginamitan siya ng Planet DAB imagery with 3-meter resolution. So the higher the resolution, or mas maliit na resolution, mas maganda yung pagpaprocess ng satellite image. So ito pa, yung they also have the capability to do plug maps. So ito, every typhoon event, they are distributing it dun sa mga LGUs na nangangailangan nito. Then, on agricultural side, so ito, if someone needs an application wherein kailangan mong i-count or i-detect yung mga trees na kailangan mo. So ito yung isang example which is in the mango trees. So by using AI, so they count the mango trees that the agency wants to know without having to manually counting it. Ito pa yung isa, yung sa tree detection, which is particularly sa coconut trees using 0.5 meter resolution. So, i-click ko yung JIT. So, they are using the training data. So, pinifeed nila dun sa AI just to learn kung ano yung mga several features na meron dun sa every pixel dun sa satellite images para ma-count ng AI kung ilan ba talaga yung object na meron dun sa particular image na yun. Then, this one is an example of road network prediction. Yan. Then other than that, so side note, so dun sa last Marawi siege. So this is an example of satellite image that we have generated by using the satellite worldview 3. So ito yung situation dun sa Marawi siege. So it's before the siege. Then this one, ito, nung gustong i-monitor ng mga LGUs or ng government natin kung ano yung situation dun sa area na yun. Then that also provides a map by use of dynamic time warping. So example is this sugarcane detection in Tarlac. Then ito, very seasonal. So ito yung example ng satellite image na meron tayo noong before quarantine by COMSA 3 and during the quarantine March 18, 2020. So ito lang yung just to give you a difference. So yung activity nung in urban area. So tingnan nyo. So before, so makikita yung satellite images na maraming vehicles. Then at nung during quarantine, so makikita niyo na walang masyadong activity dun sa road. Then also, the use of one use case of satellite images is in project monitoring. So ito, we can monitor the projects na ginagawa. Particularly ito sa road network, sa Bulacan yata to. Yan. So, makikita natin yung progress ng project. So, pwede nating infer na yung isang project is parang sinasabi na may progress. So, pwede nang ma-justify. So, ito nga po, may progress na. Parang ganun. Then, the other application will be on the drought monitoring. Yan. By using the satellite Landsat 8. So, yun. So, I will not elaborate it anymore. So, I will also play a video regarding DATOS. So, you can also have a bigger picture of what the DATOS project is doing. So, enjoy.
We now live in an era called the Fourth Industrial Revolution, where every day, data is produced in massive volumes at a breakneck pace. In the Philippines alone, the Department of Science and Technology has supported several projects that collect enormous amounts of Earth observation, geospatial, and environmental data. Big data demands a new approach in processing and analysis to leverage available data for new scientific discoveries and enhance decision support. The Advanced Science and Technology Institute, under the DOST, spearheads data processing and analysis tasks through the Remote Sensing and Data Science Help Desk, or DATOS project. With ASTI's access to science and technology infrastructure, the DATOS project makes sense of these data, using expertise in remote sensing, geographic information system, artificial intelligence, and data science. Using AI and machine learning techniques on these satellite images, the DATOS project takes mapping to a whole new level by generating satellite-based maps on demand.
DATOS is a 24-hour help desk for remote sensing and data science. The Department of Science and Technology has been investing a lot in space technology for Earth observation data.
We have the ground receiving station of PEDRO. They manage our Diwata satellites. We store the data sets from the core, and from there, we generate whatever is needed for disaster during typhoon event, during earthquake.
The DATOS project's outputs can be divided into two categories. Feature detection, where an AI model is trained to detect objects automatically from satellite images, be it floods, roads, or trees. And time series analysis, where voice recognition techniques are applied on radar satellite images to identify seasonal crops like rice, corn, and sugarcane. One of the collaborators of the DATOS project is the Sugar Regulatory Administration, which undertakes nationwide sugarcane plantation mapping activities.
What ASTI did is automate the process, and then another thing is na-access namin yung HPC nila, and nakaka-acquire din kami ng mga satellite images na nagagamit namin sa aming mga researches.
As long as there are data to analyze and people who need information from these data, the potential applications that DATOS can explore are limitless.
Working with PEDRO, Core, Preginet, and then filling in the gap with DATOS, kind of achieve this end-to-end, this chain of creating value out of products of space technology in the form of satellite images.
We have different unlimited possibilities that can be extracted from Earth observation data, but we can only extract them, or we can only process them if they tell us to do so.
Data is at the core of what the DATOS project does. With the current capabilities and plans of the DATOS project for the long term, it is now ready to take on the demands and challenges of Industry 4.0 and beyond.
So that sums up the DATOS project. So I hope you have learned what does the DATOS project do in a bigger picture. So Next topic that we'll be discussing is about the SAR-with-AIS. So SAR-with-AIS stands for Synthetic Aperture Radar with Automatic Identification System. So it is a project funded by DOST and is monitored by the DOST Fisheries. So kami lang yung nagma-manage currently yung SAR-with-AIS project. So ito. So SAR-with-AIS project uses the NOVASAR-1 satellite, which is made by SSTL, as I had mentioned before. So though hindi natin siya ginawa, so we have 10% of capacity of that satellite. So nagagamit natin yung 10% na yun to capture images in the Philippines. So yung mga applications ng NOVASAR-1 satellite image is in the following. So we can use that for maritime surveillance, forestry, agriculture, and disaster monitoring. So it's not limited with this. So the following slides, ipapakita ko yung mga applications niya or yung mga sample images na meron tayo na na-capture ni NOVASAR-1. So ito. So NOVASAR-1 satellite images is used for ship monitoring. So ito. Ito yung sample na nakuha ni NOVASAR last December 24, 2019 in mischief trip. So we can see in the satellite image na mayroong mga ships na detect through the use of AI in the SAR satellite image. So side note, so yung SAR satellite image is ganito talaga. So meron tayong optical, then meron tayong SAR. So ang optical is yung colored one, then yung SAR is yung black and white image. Then number 2, SAR is used for ship surveillance. So yung makikita nyo dyan, yung mga puting yan is yung mga AIS signals na nakuha ni NOVASAR in all over the Philippines. Okay, so we have the Siyasat portal. So para ma-view natin yung mga satellite images na na-capture ni NOVASAR, so Siyasat portal serves as the image repository or a web app of the NOVASAR satellite. So currently, yung Siyasat portal is live and we can access it through the siyasat.asti.gov.ph/ICPS. So if you need access, so you can email us at info@asti.dost.gov.ph or at grs.asti.dost.gov.ph. So ito yung ginagamit ng mga end users namin for them to access the NOVASAR image. In that portal, so they can download or access the satellite image as well as the other satellite data na pinoprovide ni NOVASAR. So ano ba yung mga features ng Siyasat portal? So ito, so we have the planning and tasking module where an end user can task or capture an image over a specific area. Then number 2 is the data visualization. So yung mga satellite images na na-download, we can view it through this portal. As well as ito, yung mga ships detected na meron dun sa satellite images. Pwede natin siyang i-overlay dito. Then we have the automated reports generation. So ayun, that's a wrap up. So we have learned many things about the Philippine space technology infrastructure. So right now, or the next topic that we will be going through is the demo itself, the DOST-ASTI VRS app demo. So reminding you to download again if you are not yet downloading it in the Play Store. So you can scan the QR code or type in the Play Store ASTI VRS or DOST-ASTI VRS. So if na-download nyo na, that will be great. So ano ba yung DOST-ASTI VRS? So dati kasi, so we have been making facility tours para dun sa mga students and other government agencies na nagpupunta dun sa ASTI. So in pandemic, so aside from that, we don't have access through it physically. So we decided to make an app called DOST-ASTI VRS to simulate the facility that we had in the PEDRO Center or in the DOST-ASTI. So pinapakita nito yung mga facilities in mobile where the user can interact with the objects. So, yung currently meron ngayon sa Play Store is yung sa mobile version. So, yung VR app version is ginagawa on developing pa rin. So, I think we can go through it right now. So, we should begin learning, exploring, and discovering what DOST-ASTI VRS is. So, without further ado, let's start.
Thank you, Sir Ivan. Yan. So, sorry about that. I was excited. Thank you, Sir Ivan, for that informative discussion on ASTI space technology and infrastructure and projects. I'm sure our audience learned a lot from your presentation. So, if anyone wants to know more about our research projects here in ASTI, you can head to the official DOST ASTI website or follow us on our social media channels. So, again, if you have not yet downloaded the ASTI VRS app, you can now scan the QR code on the screen. So we will be having the demo next, and of course, it will be more fun if you can join us. So once again, here is Sir Ivan for the ASTI VRS demo.
Alright, so na-download nyo na yung DOST-ASTI VRS into the Play Store. So if you will open the app, you will see the main menu, which is this. Makikita nyo sa screen nyo ngayon. So we have 4 main menus on the app. So the ASTI GRS, the Davao GRS, Iloilo GRS, and satellites, which we will explore later. Disclaimer lang ulit, so DOST-ASTI VRS does not use VR goggles as of today or as of this moment, because we made this game accessible for everyone by making it a typical game which is familiar for everyone. So, yung initiative namin kasi dito is to replace the physical facility tour with nito. Kasi nga, hindi na tayo makapag-tour physically dun sa mga facilities. So, ito yung ginawa namin. So, this was made by the initiative of PEDRO team and Corpcom. So, Gerald C. as the main developer. Yung app na to is made from the cross-platform game development tool, which is Unity. And as of now, this is only available on Android operating systems. I think Android 8 later. So, yun. Pwede naman natin siyang import into an iOS. So, later na lang yon. But yung VR version nito is under development pa din as of now. Okay, so the first one that we will be touring is the ASTI ground receiving station. So, ayan. Before that, I will discuss to you the basic controls of how to navigate the app. So, kung makikita nyo sa screen nyo, so we have the options here. So, we have the main menu, the left and right joystick, then the button under in the bottom of the screen. So, yung nasa left side nyo is yung for movement. So, typical lang na controls in the typical game setup or game sa mobile. So, left, right, up, down. So, para yan sa movement. Then, yung nasa right screen nyo is yung digital joystick for panning ng view. So, typical lang din. And then, you can also use this button, the bottom right beside the digital joystick of, na gumagamit ng panning, which is jump. And then, to navigate or interact with the objects, so meron kayong makikitang eye icon here where it will display the information regarding that object. Okay, so pasok na tayo uli. So, napakita ko na tong yung actual facility na to dun sa mga naunang slides. So, as much as possible, we made it look like 90%. So, yan. Bear with me. So, this also serves as our workstations as well as a conference room where we held our meetings. Then, selfie spot din to ng mga nagtutour nung pre-pandemic pa. And almost nagsisiksikan sila dito. And every week, lagi kaming may facility tour na i-manage dito sa room na to. Okay, so as you can see here, we have 5 screens. So I'll explain to you one by one. So the first screen is this one. So this is the CCTV monitor for the radome, the satellite tracking antenna, and the servers na nasa likod natin. Okay, the second one will be the satellite dashboard. So ano nga ba yung gamit ng satellite dashboard na to? So dito natin o-operate yung mga Diwata microsatellites. It is where we upload the commands to task the satellite to take picture in a specific area, what camera to use, and this also used to monitor the health status of the satellite by telemetry data. So kung nakikita nyo, yung dalawang green dyan is yung status or yung battery ng ating Diwata 2 microsatellite. Okay. After capture nun, this dashboard is used to download the data and repacket the images for processing. Also, kung maaalala nyo kanina, diniscuss ko na we are also responsible for the mission planning of the satellites. So, ano ba yung nangyayari dun sa mission planning natin? How it works? So, we have 4 main procedure. So, number 1 is plan. Una muna, yung ground receiving station natin prepares the commands for the satellites. These commands contain specific instructions for capturing specific areas of interest or AOIs. So, yun ang una. Pangalawa, upload. Dun sa upload process, when the satellite is in flyby, the antenna is in GRS communicate with the satellite. This enables the DRS to monitor the health status of the satellite and upload relevant or necessary commands. Then, pagkatapos ng upload, is we will capture the actual image. So, upon successful upload of the commands from the GRS, the satellite can now capture the area of interest. Then, yung pang-last procedure will be the download. After the satellite captures images of the AOI, the GRS will download the data upon the next pass. So, yung satellite images na yon will be processed later on for distribution sa mga nangangailangan na government agencies and other institutions or other stakeholders. So, yun yung mission planning. Okay, so proceeding with the second screen, we have here what we call the telemetry demodulation control interface. So, ano nga bang ginagawa nitong telemetry demodulation interface na to? So, ito yung signal control interface wherein we are preparing the command to be transmitted. Dito natin din turn on or off yung RF signal amplifier or signal modulation and sweep control. So, hindi ko na siya masyadong i-elaborate kasi for some of you, this may be some kind of jargons. So, this is for, that can only be understood by technical people. Then, the third screen, ito. So, kung makikita nyo, ito yung tinatawag nating satellite tracker visualization dashboard. So, dito natin makikita yung real-time position ng satellites natin, which is ngayon is Diwata 2 na lang. We can also see here the maximum elevation, loss of signal, tsaka LOS or Acquisition of Signal or AOS. So ito yung mga status na binabato ng satellites natin na makikita natin dito. So ang pinaka-importante dito is makikita natin siyang gumagalaw pa din. So ito yung gamit nito. Then the last screen is called the Telemetry Demodulation Control Interface. So ginagamit natin to for to monitor our satellite and to check certain items like signal to noise ratio or sensitivity. So yun. Okay, so we will proceed with the other room here. Basically, yung function lang naman ng server room, it serves as the storage for satellite images kasi nga yung mga satellite images na download natin coming from our Earth observation satellites are big, and this is where we stored here. Aside from that, so meron din tayong mga equipments dito wherein ginagamit siya for encoding and decoding satellite data coming from the satellite. Also, we are also using this, some of these servers have installed virtual machines where yung web development team namin, including me, utilizes that. Okay, so we will go now on the upper deck or in the second floor of ASTI. So, yung makikita nyo sa taas is yung ASTI radome and yung ating satellite tracking antenna. Okay, so let's go upstairs here. Alright, so yung makikita nyo dito ngayon na parang malaking golf ball dyan is what we call the radome. So, ano ba yung radome? Yung radome is the enclosure of our satellite tracking antenna. So, this was constructed to protect our satellite tracking antenna for severe weather disturbances. So, it's yan ay gawa sa acrylic and kaya niyang i-withstand yung 175 km per hour na storm or typhoon. So, yun. So, this is to be the selfie hotspot also nagtutour. Ayan. Okay, so let's go around here. Dito. Okay, so yung makikita niyang dalawang nakatayo dito is yung model natin ng mga weather stations. So, we have two types here na makikita nyo. So, una is yung AWS or automatic weather stations, and yung pangalawa is yung automated rain gauge. So, yung AWS or automatic weather station, it measures the climatic factors such as heat, temperature, humidity, pressure, mga ganon. Then, yung automated rain gauge naman, it just measures the amount of rainfall in an area. So, these sensors are deployed all over the Philippines. So, kung alam nyo, so meron tayong website wherein we can see the data na binabato nitong mga sensors na to. So, that's fieldSensors.asti.dost.gov.ph. So, ayun. Very beneficial siya for those times na may bagyo dito sa atin. Ayan, so para din ma-complement yung mga space data na tinatanggap natin or na-receive natin. Okay, so let's proceed inside the radome to see the satellite tracking antenna. Alright, so as you can see, so we have the DOST-ASTI's own satellite tracking antenna. So, it measures 3.7 meters in size and it moves around 5 degrees per second for pag andyan yung satellite or nasa flyby yung ating satellite. Okay. So, as I have mentioned before dun sa mga previous slides, so we have 3 satellite tracking antennas all over the Philippines. So, the first one is in this place, o sa ASTI. Yung pangalawa is nasa Davao. The Davao has the largest satellite tracking antenna which measures 7.3 meters. Then, the other one is in Dumangas, Iloilo. So, kung mapapansin nyo, 3 yung satellite tracking antenna natin. So, bakit nga ba? So, ang unang dahilan dyan kasi in case na may mangyari na disaster dito sa Manila, then nasira tong satellite tracking antenna natin, we have a backup to use which is nasa ibang place. Wherein nasa Davao nga, tsaka nasa Iloilo. Okay, so let's go outside. So let's now proceed to the other ground receiving station using this main menu, which is the Davao GRS. Okay, so nasa Davao GRS na tayo. So let's try to explore this. So kung makikita nyo sa scene na to is yung container ba natin o yung operation center natin sa Davao. And then yung satellite tracking antenna natin, which is enclosed also in a radome. So ipapasok tayo dito. Okay. Ayan, so makikita nyo yung largest satellite tracking antenna natin, which measures 7.3 meters in size. So in terms of functionality, same pa din naman siya with other satellite tracking antennas. Also, install din natin itong mga satellite tracking antenna na to for a wider coverage. Nga pala, so this Davao Ground Receiving Station was inaugurated last November 2019. Yan. Then we have a mini game here. So nilagay lang ng mga developers or namin ito just for the user to have fun other than exploring these the scenes here. So ayan, hindi kayo dyan mag-soccer or maglaro or whatnot, kung ano mang gusto nyo. Then meron tayong mga hidden areas dito na pwede nyo i-explore and see for yourself. So I think this will be an achievement ata in terms of the game. So yun. And then, ipapasok tayo dito sa container van. So same setup. So, we have also here the workstations and also the server room. Alright, so okay na tayo dito. Okay, we will go next. In the Iloilo Ground Receiving Station. Okay, so yung Iloilo Ground Receiving Station, as I had said, so located siya in Dumangas, Iloilo. So this facility was funded by JICA. So tayo lang yung nag-ooperate. Ayan, so ito yung satellite tracking antenna niya in actual. So ganun yung itsura niya. And it measures about 3.5 meters in diameter. Right. So, yung functionality niya, so under development pa din yung site na to, kaya hindi pa siya masyadong functional ngayon. So, okay, so if you will go inside, so this is just an model of what the PEDRO Center in Iloilo might look like. Okay. Let's go inside. Okay, the usual. So, dito naman, meron tayong dedicated conference room. Ayun nga, sabi ko nga kanina din. So, this site was funded by JICA and managed by us. And meron din participation si ULAT. So, yung project management nitong Iloilo Ground Receiving Station, so yung mga ULAT project managers yung nagmamanage. Then, papasok tayo dito. So, same setup din. So, we have the workstations. Ayun. Okay. Workstations and the server room as well. Ayan. Alright, so okay, so let's now proceed with satellite showcase. Ayan, so dito natin gagawin yung simulation ng mission planning. So itong model na to, itong room na to is just modeled by yung basis namin dito is yung space labs na meron na nakikita natin sa internet. So we just make it look like this. Alright, so let's try to explore first this one. So ayan, isa-simulate natin yung mission planning. So meron tayong parang ganito. Okay, so first, we will choose if our satellite image will be an optical image or a SAR image. So, kung optical image yung gagamitin natin, so which is by the way is yung colored satellite images, and SAR images is just a black and white satellite image kasi ginagamitan siya ng radio waves. And yung kaibahan kasi nung optical with SAR is yung optical, hindi siya makapenetrate dun sa cloud. So, kapag pinicturean ng isang satellite yung area na may clouds, wala kang makikita kundi yung clouds. Whereas yung SAR, nakaka-penetrate siya sa cloud. So, yung though black and white, so by means of radio frequency and radio waves, so makakita natin yung mga structure underlying those clouds or yung mismong area. Yun nga. We have subscribed to some satellite providers wherein they have the capability to take SAR images. So, kasi nga, di ba, typhoon-prone tayo, so laging maulap. So, we need these satellites. Okay, going back, so, we'll have, for example, we would use optical image. Then, saan tayo, pipili tayo ng location dito. So, halimbawa, Boracay. So, ayan. Ito yung mga steps na nangyayari when we are uploading the data to the satellite. Right? Upload complete. Then, ito na yung mangyayari sa next satellite pass. So, ganun ulit. So, nag-move yung satellite. Kasi nagre-receive na siya ng data. Dina-download natin. Then, yung downloaded data na yun is kino-convert into a readable data. Ayan. So, after ma-convert, we will process that and ito na. So, maglo-load na yung image natin. Or na-process na yung image natin and ready for distribution to concerned government agencies. Ayan. So, kapag SAR naman, halimbawa, Taal, bear in mind na yung satellite lang natin na nakakagawa tayo makapag-upload is yung sa Diwata 2. And yung ibang mission partner natin or ibang satellite provider natin, nagpapatas lang tayo sa kanila. So, ayun nga pala. If we will go upstairs here, so makikita natin yung movement ng satellites. So, ayan. Halimbawa, Sinhoba SAR 1, which is, by the way, meron tayong 10% capacity. Ayan. Parang ganito yung process na visualization na makikita natin sa pag-download at pag-upload ng mga satellite data. Then, ito na yung final product. So, again, kapag mga subscribed satellites lang ang ginagamit natin, so we are asking the satellite provider for us to task or tayo mismo yung nagtatas like with the Korean satellites which are ComSats. Okay, so let's explore our satellite assets beginning here. So, ayan. We have the Maya 1. So, just to familiarize you with what you should do here. So, parang same din, to interact with the objects, you will tap the eye icon here. Pero pagdating dito sa mga satellite, you can move closer here para makita mong mag-animate yung object. Ayan. So, makita mo yung mga parts nila. Okay. Also, you can also jump to see the upper perspective. Ayan. Alright, so, okay. Beginning with, going back again with Maya 1. So, ito yung first CubeSat na ginawa natin for the technology demonstration. So, why for technology demonstration? So, for technology demonstration, what I mean is meron silang specific na mga points wherein showcase natin yung mga capabilities ng isang satellite. So, for example, demonstration of data acquisition using store and forward mission or stored and forward mechanism. Then, yung pangalawa is in image and video capture. meron ding GPS chip demonstration and detection and protection from single event latch up due to space radiation or SEL mission. Then the other one would be magnetic field measurement in space using magnetoresistance sensor. So yun yung mga missions ng ating CubeSat, which is Maya 1. And then this year we have launched together with DOST and Stamina for Space, they have launched successfully Maya 3 and Maya 4. So yung payloads niya is same with Maya 1. But ang kinaibahan niya lang is yung CubeSats na Maya 3 and Maya 4. So meron silang NIR camera, or I mean yung Maya 4 lang pala, yung may. So next one is the PlanetDAB satellite. So actually itong PlanetDAB satellites, it is a constellation of satellites. So maliliit lang siya, but it can take a very clear picture or a very clear satellite image. So ito yung mga description niya. Then yung mga payloads andito din. Wala palang payloads, only the description. So yan, so nakasubscribe din tayo dyan. So mostly it is used for daily imaging kung kailangan natin. Ayan. Then we have our very own Diwata 1, which was decommissioned last 2020. And currently in orbit is the Diwata 2. Ayan. Right, so ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, yung Novasar 1 where we have a 10% imaging capacity and it's considered one of our satellite assets. Okay, it's a SAR satellite with an AIS feature. Ayan. And then we have the GeoEye 1, one of the largest satellite that we are subscribed to, and it has also a clear satellite optical image. So mataas yung resolution niya. Then we have here the Korean satellites. Wait lang. Yan. Okay, so we have the ComSat 3 and the ComSat 5 from Korean Kari, South Korea. So okay, so ComSat 3 is optical and ComSat 5 is SAR. Tayo para ko yung perspective. Okay, so then we have the Cosmos SkyMed. Okay, then from the other side we have the last one, I think, which is the Worldview 3, operated and owned by Digital Globe. Also one of the clearest resolution satellite that we are subscribed to. Alright. Then, dito sa corner na to, ito yung Philippine Satellite Watch Showcase, which is currently ongoing pa po. So, meron kaming campaign na tinatawag na Satellite Watch together with Stamina for Space and PhilSA. You can check our Facebook pages to see the latest images or the featured images of the month or the week. So yan, dito nyo makikita yung mga nakuha naming mga satellite images with their descriptions. And most of which are very valuable. Ayan. Ayan, so okay. So I think that's it for the demo. So, right, let's exit it. I think we're done for today. So I hope you guys learn something in this tour. Again, I am your virtual tour today, Mark Ivan Kamama, signing off. And magandang agham sa inyong lahat. And salamat po.
Thank you, Sir Ivan, for that immersive walkthrough of the ASTI VRS app. We can see the team's hard work in making all those details and features in the app. So this would be definitely be a fun and learning experience for all the users. So now for the last portion of our webinar, we will be starting the Q&A session and open forum. So to join Sir Ivan is Mr. Mark Gerald C., the main developer of the ASTI VRS app, as well as Miss Katrina Mina of the PEDRO team as our Q&A moderator. So kindly turn on your cameras and be ready to answer questions. So for those who are streaming this event via Facebook Live, you may type your questions in the comment box. So the floor is yours, Sir Ivan, Sir Gerald, and Miss Kat. Let's just wait lang po for a few moments. We'll flash the questions. Thank you. Miss Kat, I think your mic is not working po. Thank you.
Can hear me now?
Yes po, thank you.
It's Catherine.
Yeah. Yeah. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kat from the Pedro team. So we are joined today by Sir Ivan and Sir Gerald. Sila yung nag-work mostly sa ating app. So yeah, for the first question, will there be any app features? Will there be any new features to the app soon? I think Sir Ivan can for that.
I think Gerald can answer that.
Regarding the new features to the app, dun sa latest, dun sa launch namin, um, na-complete na namin lahat ng minimum requirements or lahat ng kailangan. So, yung sa new features app, dyan tayo makahingi ng tulong and collaboration with everyone na nanonood dito ngayon and sa lahat ng gagamit. Kasi we will be listening and considering your suggestions and comments kung ano yung gusto nyo ilagay, and then pag na-collect na namin sila enough and we can plan na kung ano yung pwede, ano yung feasible, then we can add it naman po. So, yun yung siguro yung new features sa app. Pero wala kaming, as of now, wala kaming concrete na pwedeng ilagay ngayon. So, yun lang.
Ayan. So, huwag niyong kalimutang mag-send ng comments about the app. So, for the next question, are there any questions yet? Ayan. Are you open to partnering with educational institutions? Ivan, Sir Gerald?
Sige, ako na sasagot, Kat. Okay, so yes, we are very open to partner with educational institutions, especially sa mga high schools, and pwede rin sa mga colleges and universities. So just send us your queries or questions dun sa provided email namin na ipa-flash dun sa last slides siguro. Kat?
Okay, so for question number 3, what are the developing tools you use to create the app? I think Sir Gerald will be able to answer this.
So yung development tools na ginamit namin to create the app is sabi ko nga kanina, is yung cross-platform development tool, which is the Unity. So pwede siyang ilagay sa dinevelop namin siya in an Android platform, then pwede din siyang import into an iOS operating system.
Okay, so those are the uh, development tools that we use. So for the other questions, sa mga pala natin, you can send the questions here to Zoom, or you can post your questions sa comment box natin sa Facebook page. So for the other questions, okay, so will you make it available in other platforms like iOS? So kasi right now, yung app natin ay available pa lang siya sa Android users natin. So will you make it available for iPhone users? Sir Gerald, Sir Ivan?
Yes,
Sige, ikaw na lang,
sige,
Ivan.
sige,
Go.
Je.
Ikaw na.
Ayun, so yes, pwede naman nating import, sabi ko nga kanina, pwede nating import yung Android, yung mismong app doon sa iOS operating system para ma-utilize na din ng mga Apple users. Kat?
Yes. So, yan, narinig naman natin. So, for the iPhone users natin, tayo lang tayo. So, makakarating din siya sa mobile Apple phones natin. So, yes, for other questions. For question number 6. So, naman tayo sa screen natin, sa paggawa natin ng app. So, ano nga ba yung inspiration natin para bumuo ng isang virtual reality? Ivan, Gerald, ba yung mga
Hello, yes. So yung question number 5 natin, ulitin ko ulit. So what was the inspiration behind the app? So nasabi ko nga kanina, 'di ba? So yung in the pre-pandemic kasi, so 'di ba, we cannot physically attend yung pandemic kasi ngayon, so we cannot physically attend facility tours or mag-tour doon sa mismong Pedro Center natin. So yun nga. So to solve that, so we have made an idea to create this app. So para maging accessible for everyone, kahit nasa bahay kayo, so pwede yung i-explore yung app na to.
Siguro pwede ba akong magdagdag sa inspiration behind the app? So, I think nung initially talaga, ang goal namin sa app na to is make it virtual reality. Kaya siya naging ASTI VR. Pero, ayun nga, nagka-pandemic tayo. So, nung ginagawa ko yung app, initially VR yung app mismo, yung Android app. Pero nung pinatry ko sa nanay ko without using VR goggles, tapos yung mismong handheld lang siya, parang ang hirap niyang gamitin. So, ang goal namin is to make it usable to everyone. Pero ang tanong nga, ako nga mismo, hindi ko mahanap yung VR goggles ko sa bahay eh. So, ang hirap kung add to cart pa tayo sa Shopee ng VR goggles, ang hassle para lang magamit tong app na to. So, parang sayang yung effort na gagawin namin kung kailangan pa ng VR goggles to use for the full experience. So, kaya namin siyang ginawang handheld na parang game lang. So, isa sa inspiration. And then, siguro yung isa pang inspiration behind the app is, yun nga, since pandemic and usually the PEDRO team has a physical tour sa facilities nila. Why not use technology? Why not use ayun nga, computer science and yun nga, yung VR, yung AR, yung VR na app na to, yung 3D na to make tawag dito, to somehow make it like real tour. So ayun yung isang inspiration behind it. Ayun.
Thank you, Sir Gerald. So I will be taking over the Q&A session. So can we have the next question, please? Okay, so I think this is from our audience. Good afternoon po. May I ask, what are your upcoming projects there at DOST-ASTI? Sir Ivan or Sir Gerald, can you answer po? Thank you.
Hello. So, yun. So, right now kasi, so, yung mga projects na ongoing sa DOST, so meron, pwedeng si Sir Ning yung sumagot nun. But, yeah. Sir Ning?
Sir Alvin Retamar, can we invite you to the floor po? Thank you.
Yeah, hi everyone. Can you kindly repeat the question, please?
The question po is, good afternoon po. May I ask us what are your upcoming projects there at DOST-ASTI?
Yeah, I'll just turn on my camera. Yeah, for upcoming projects, well, I wouldn't really say they're upcoming, but they are ongoing. So meron tayong yung Survey DIS, I think that was mentioned already by Ivan in his presentation. And we were also heavily involved with the development of the Philippines' third satellite. That's a term, although actually it's not really the third satellite. It's really, well, it's a bigger satellite actually. So ito yung pangatlo sa malalaki nating satellites na dinevelop dito sa Philippines together with various organizations, namely the Philippine Space Agency and the University of the Philippines. Of course, the UST is always there to support it. Ito yung Mula satellite. No? So this is a 100-kilogram class satellite which was, well, which is currently being developed. Nasa phase 1 tayo that already finished. And we are looking forward to the phase 2. And this will be funded by the Philippine Space Agency. So let's watch out for that because that is going to be the biggest satellite developed by local engineers coming soon. I think the launch, the projected launch is sometime in 2023 or 2024. So that's forthcoming. With respect to other projects pa ng DOST-ASTI, we do have collaborations with local government agencies. We recently signed a MOA with the Laguna Lake Development Authority and the Libmanan Water District to bring the value of space technology, particularly remote sensing, to their operations. So we are going to use space technology para ma-improve yung kanilang services and optimize and make efficient kung ano yung mga proseso nila requiring technology intervention. So yun pa lang so far. Siguro dagdag ko na rin, as you all know, meron tayong Philippine Space Agency. I mentioned that a while ago. And clearly, they will be taking the lead, no, moving forward in relation to space science and technology. But ASTI will always be a major player, if I can see that. It has developed through the years a lot of capabilities already, and certainly those capabilities will not go to waste. We will still be a major player. But of course, this time in collaboration and in cooperation with the Philippine Space Agency. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Alvin. So the next question is for Sir Gerald and Sir Ivan. What was the most difficult part in the making of the app? Sir Gerald?
Hello. Ayan. Siguro sa maraming times na difficult siya. Hindi ko siya ma-measure yung most. Pero yung mga highlights siguro na mahirap is, yung first thing is yung nag-start nung pandemic is nung, di ba nakita niyo yung mga 3D models dun sa showcase, satellite showcase. Lahat ng 3D models dun, ginawa namin siya from scratch. And ang challenging pa dun is we just used Google Images to imagine it and to 3D model it. Wala kami talagang reference or wala kaming blueprint to copy it. Siguro meron yung Maya, Diwata 1, Diwata 2, pero yung the rest, yung ComSat 5, yung Novasor, ganun. Talagang tiningnan lang namin siya sa Google and then ginawa lang namin siya sa SketchUp and si Ivan sa Adobe, si Feby din and sa SketchUp din. So ayun yung may hirap doon kasi yun nga, may hirap siyang by eye lang pero enjoy siya. So okay lang din na difficult siya. And then the next thing na mahirap doon is yung compatibility niya and optimization niya sa Unity. So since first time namin to gawin and ako mismo developer sa Unity, hindi optimized yung mga 3D models na gawa namin sa app na yun. So mabagal nung una, ang daming mga hindi naman necessary na nakikita dun sa 3D model. Ganun. So namin siya in-optimize for a year. So ganun siya katagal gawin yung 3D models. Kasi kunyari, and tatlo kami and syempre sa kanya-kanyang bahay kami. And ako nagpo-port sa Unity ng mga 3D models. May times na may error, may hindi pala gumagana, ganun. So dun kami nahihirapan. And then yung isa pang difficult part is I think ayun na yung pinakamahirap. Siguro mahirap talaga yung paggawa ng ASTI VRS na app in general kasi nga first time ko lang din naman gumawa ng ganito and then siguro hindi ko masabi sa inyo kung ano yung pinaka-difficult din talaga kasi nag-enjoy ako specifically sa paggawa nito and yung parang purpose namin kung bakit namin ito ginagawa. So, ayun, hindi ko matandaan talaga yung pinaka-difficult or hindi ko siya tinitingnan na ang hirap ganun. So, yun lang.
Would you like
So,
to
sa
add
akin
po?
naman, ayun. So, for me naman, yung pinaka-difficult part nung making the app is yung learning curve dun sa mga 3D software na ginamit namin. So, for one thing, so iba-iba kami ng 3D modeling software na ginamit. Si Gerald gumamit ng SketchUp, ako gumamit ng Blender. So minsan kapag nire-render na siya sa Unity, may mga compatibility issues na nangyayari. May mga faces na nabubura, mga ganun, mga steps na ganun. Then yung pangalawa is yung pag-shift. Kasi yung unang part kasi 'di ba sinabi ni Gerald na dedicated, parang ginawa siya as a app for VR goggles. Then dun sa later part na realize namin ay parang hindi masyadong maganda atang gawin to as na ginagamitan ng mga VR goggles. So ayun, so nag-shift kami from an app that uses VR goggles or VR devices. So ginamitan namin siya ng isang method or ginonvert namin yung app para maging accessible siya for everyone. So yun nga yun, yung game an app that is parang typical mobile game lang. So yun. Tere?
Thank you po, Sir Ivan and Sir Gerald. So unfortunately, we are down to our last question because we are kind of pressed for time. The next question will be for Sir Alvin. What do you think will be the future of this app after 5 years? What are your other visions for this?
All right. As far as the app is concerned, siguro 5 years from now, definitely there will be improvements that will be integrated into it as we, of course, move from here to 5 years from now. We don't want to be stagnant as far as the application is concerned. We'd like it to be updated with what's latest, kung ano man yung klaseng technology that's really needed to spice it up and to make it relevant moving forward. And I guess more importantly, the thing here is the realization that there's this marriage of reality and virtual reality, so to speak. No? So we have to be prepared, and well, I guess this is a step forward to that actuality, and we are building applications to this end. So siguro rather than focusing on just this single app, there will be several apps to follow, no, na may ganitong klaseng applications. And I suppose this is staying true doon sa sinasabi ko ngang intertwining of reality and virtual reality. So we are not going to be stuck with this app alone. Certainly, we wish to expand our application space as far as developing VR apps is concerned. And siguro po in the coming years or in the coming months, maybe the next year, which is just a month away, we'll be coming out with new announcements of applications developed that are going to be developed for particular applications. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Alvin. Sir Gerald and Sir Ivan, would you like to add something?
Sige, add ko lang. Yun. So, kasi nga, di ba, pwede nating dagdagan dun sa mismong app. As mentioned by Sir Yuning, so meron tayong ginagawang mula satellite. So, yung Summit for Space, together with DOST and PhilSA. So, yun. Pwede nating i-add yung mga satellites pa na ma-develop natin in the next 5 years. Yun lang.
Okay ka na. Okay, so thank you to our panelists, and we would like to thank our guests as well for your questions and your active participation throughout this event. For additional questions, you can send us an email at media@asti.dost.gov.ph. And for our friends from the media, you can also schedule an exclusive interview with our speaker by reaching out to us through the same email. You may also access the press kit using the link provided. Okay, so one last request before we finally end. I hope you're all ready for the photo op. May we please invite everyone to turn on their cameras. Our team will be promoting all attendees as panelists. So let's just wait for a minute. Thank you. Okay, so while we are waiting, so Sir Aldrin will be giving us the cue for the photo op. Okay, Sir Aldrin.
Hi everyone. Our all right. Once again, we invite everyone to please turn on their camera and hold their smile as we take opportunity group picture taking. All right, I think we can get this going. So in count of 3, everybody, hold our smiles. In 3, 2, 1. And for the second batch, uh, hold still for our smile. We take the photo over here. Alright, in 3, 2, 1. Alright, there we have it. Thank you, everybody.
So thank you everyone for participating in our photo op. So thank you very much, and that brings us to the end of our webinar. Again, the ASTI VRS app is now available to download for free on the Google Play Store. So I hope you can help us share this app to your family, friends, classmates, and colleagues. So we hope to see you in our upcoming webinars on technology-assisted farming and machine learning weather forecasting, same time tomorrow and on Friday. So on behalf of the DOST Advanced Science and Technology Institute, maraming salamat po. So this has been the Reskill Nat. Stay safe, stay curious, and have a great day ahead.